Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A prominent attribute or aspect of something. Generosity is one of his best characteristics. Any measurable property of a device measured under closely specified conditions. A distinguishing quality. The integer part, positive or negative, of the representation of a logarithm. In the expression log 643 equals 2.808, the characteristic is 2. Typical or distinctive. Heard my friend's characteristic laugh. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. The map showed roads and other features. The principal, full-length film in a program at a movie theater. The feature tonight is Casablanca. Linguistics. A distinctive characteristic of a linguistic unit that serves to distinguish it from other units of the same kind. Have as a feature. This restaurant features the most famous chefs in France. A special or prominent article in a newspaper or magazine. They ran a feature on retirement planning. Wear or display in an ostentatious or proud manner. The characteristic parts of a person's face: eyes and nose and mouth and chin. An expression of pleasure crossed his features. An article of merchandise that is displayed or advertised more than other articles. Any measurable property of a device measured under closely specified conditions. Beyond or deviating from the usual or expected. The peculiar aromatic odor of cloves. Unique or specific to a person or thing or category. A peculiar bond of sympathy between them. Characteristic of one only, distinctive or special. The peculiar character of the government of the U.S. Markedly different from the usual. A peculiar hobby of stuffing and mounting bats. Characteristic or indicative of a disease. A rash symptomatic of scarlet fever. Relating to or according to or affecting a symptom or symptoms. Symptomatic relief. Of a feature that helps to distinguish a person or thing. That is typical of you. Conforming to a type. The typical, or normal, American. Exhibiting the qualities or characteristics that identify a group or kind or category. A typical American girl. Characteristic or indicative of a disease. A diagnostic sign of yellow fever. Concerned with diagnosis, used for furthering diagnosis. A diagnostic reading test. Capable of being classified. Of a feature that helps to distinguish a person or thing. Jerusalem has a distinctive Middle East flavor. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Decide as to where something belongs in a scheme. Attribute or credit to. We attributed this quotation to Shakespeare. An abstraction belonging to or characteristic of an entity. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Self-confidence is not an endearing property. Any movable articles or objects used on the set of a play or movie. Something owned. Any tangible or intangible possession that is owned by someone. That had as my property. Any area set aside for a particular purpose. The president was concerned about the property across from the White House. A basic or essential attribute shared by all members of a class. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Magnitude or extent. Indicate the dimensions on. These techniques permit us to dimension the human heart. One of three Cartesian coordinates that determine a position in space. Shape or form to required dimensions. The magnitude of something in a particular direction, especially length or width or height. Music. The distinctive property of a complex sound, a voice or noise or musical sound. A degree or grade of excellence or worth. The quality of students has risen. A characteristic property that defines the apparent individual nature of something. Each town has a quality all its own. Of superior grade. Quality paper. An essential and distinguishing attribute of something or someone. The quality of mercy is not strained. High social status. A man of quality. Of high social status. People of quality. Any of the natural numbers, positive or negative, or zero. Any of the natural numbers, positive or negative, or zero. An integer is a number that is not a fraction. Those characteristics, both anatomical and psychological, that are strongly associated with one sex relative to the other. Physics. A point in the ideal multidimensional phase space that is used to describe a system toward which the system tends to evolve regardless of the starting conditions of the system. An entertainer who attracts large audiences. A characteristic that provides pleasure and attracts. The quality of arousing interest, being attractive or something that attracts. Her personality held a strange attraction for him. An entertainer who attracts large audiences. The force by which one object attracts another. A characteristic that provides pleasure and attracts. An entertainment that is offered to the public. A characteristic that provides pleasure and attracts. Physics. A point in the ideal multidimensional phase space that is used to describe a system toward which the system tends to evolve regardless of the starting conditions of the system. An entertainer who attracts large audiences. A characteristic that provides pleasure and attracts. Flowers are an attractor for bees. An emblem, a small piece of plastic or cloth or metal, that signifies your status, rank or membership or affiliation, etc. They checked everyone's badge before letting them in. Any feature that is regarded as a sign of status, a particular power or quality or rank. Wearing a tie was regarded as a badge of respectability. Put a badge on. The workers here must be badged. The central or most important feature. Education was the centerpiece of the Democratic Party's political platform. Something placed at the center of something else, as on a table. The central or most important feature. Something placed at the center of something else, as on a table. A line drawn on a map connecting points of equal height. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. A feature, or the order or arrangement of features, of anything having a complex structure. The contours of the melody. Form the contours of. An odd or unusual characteristic. An odd or unusual characteristic. An outstanding feature. Something in which something or someone excels. A center of manufacturing excellence. The quality of excelling. Possessing good qualities in high degree. An outstanding feature. Something in which something or someone excels. A title used to address dignitaries, such as ambassadors or governors, usually preceded by your, or, his or her. From or between other countries. External commerce. Coming from the outside. Happening or arising or located outside or beyond some limits or especially surface. The external auditory canal. Outward features. He enjoyed the solemn externals of religion. Purely outward or superficial. External composure. A distinct feature or element in a problem. He studied every facet of the question. A smooth surface, as of a bone or cut gemstone. Unvarying in nature. A feature, quantity or property or function, that remains unchanged when a particular transformation is applied to it. Unaffected by a designated operation or transformation. A characteristic that provides pleasure and attracts. Physics. A device that attracts iron and produces a magnetic field.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.